Hello, Sunnyside. What a blessing it is to be able to be before you again. It's really been a while, and I've come across some things that I just like to share with you, and you may want to just do some follow-up on them, okay, just to make sure that I heard or saw it correctly. All right. Today is the first day of school for many of our kids. All right. So just be aware that LAUSD is really trying to put an end to the stigma of free lunch. So they're making lunches available for all students. Okay, so just be aware of that. I didn't realize that 4-year-olds now can start school. Okay, so pass that information on in case somebody may need to hear that. Are you aware that transportation is even being provided for our students there? So you may live fairly close, but if you're in an area that it's dangerous for your child to walk to school, you may want to call and make some inquiries. All right, so just be aware of that. Note also that I heard this morning, LAUSD is giving every first grader a $50 savings account. So as they come in, they're given $50, a $50 savings account. Okay? Check into OpportunityLA.com. Again, OpportunityLA.com. Just be aware of that. As I'm thinking about things that are happening on this day, today is the birthday of Congresswoman Maxine Waters. So happy birthday. Note also, I don't see it in my notes right now, but I know I have it, that today is the 37th birthday of Nipsy Hussle. All right. And this time I'm just going to mention some names. And if you're in the LA area, chances are you may have an idea as to who it is that I'm talking about. Okay. But he was one then that was really active in the Los Angeles area. Today is the day also that his star is being placed on the Walk of Fame up in Hollywood. And note that the station there, the new LAX station, not LAX, okay, but the new train station then that's coming through Slauson and Crenshaw will be named after Nipsey Hussle as well. Again, so as I drop some names, feel free to do just a little research. In my day, you actually had to use an encyclopedia to get information. Today, it's just a matter of asking your phone, who in the world is that? What is that all about? Okay, so just be aware. The COVID guidelines continue to change. The thing that we've heard for some time is they really want to be able to reach herd immunity. That is, they want enough people in the area to have been vaccinated and all, that we're all protected. My suggestion is always do what is in your best interest. If you happen to see me and I don't have on my mask, tap me on the shoulder and ask me, where is it? Okay, but again, do what is in your best interest, because there have been a number of people all along who have been refusing to wear the mask, saying that they had a right not to. So just be careful. Note also that even here at Sunnyside, tests are available. Okay, those free COVID tests are available. So just ask. And sometimes as you just come into church, you will see it sitting over on the table. Okay, don't hesitate to just get one and just test yourself to make sure that you're safe. And again, just do the appropriate follow-up. I received this card in the mail, okay, along with one for my brother and for my husband, okay, and for anyways, so just be aware that the upcoming November election is coming up. But we tend not to wait until November, okay, to get information. In California, we're kind of blessed, okay? Have you moved recently? Update your voter registration information with your correct residence address and mailing address, all right? Note also that if people need to get this in different languages, that is available, okay? At the same time, if you are going to be 18 or voting age as of the time of the election, okay, then you can kind of pre-register, okay? Just information, be aware of that. Here, every registered voter is mailed a vote by mail ballot. Mailing starts on October 6th and continues through October 10th. Early in-person voting begins October 29th through Election Day, which is November the 8th. Voters can visit any vote center to cast their ballots. And people, just please be aware, voter suppression is so real. The goal is to keep you from voting, to make sure that your vote does not count. I was listening on the radio this morning and heard that only 1 in 7 registered voters actually take the time to vote. So I'm going to encourage you to just join me. I'm one of those people that would tend to keep voter registration forms in my car, okay? Again, the Birmingham in me tells me, hey, that's the least I can do. And there are a couple of people, okay? I won't tip a couple of our graduates, I'll say, from Sunnyside. On yesterday, I actually gave them a voter registration form. One told me that she had already pre-registered, and the other one said, oh no, I haven't registered yet. So I encouraged them to just fill that form out. And again, for the one that had pre-registered, I encouraged her to just call and make sure that she is listed on the voting rolls. Again, don't hesitate to be a party of one, to just encourage someone to vote. Just realize all you have to do now is fill out that form. Your life is not in danger. Your family's life is not in danger. And it even already has the appropriate stamp that you need. Sunnyside had a summer camp this year, and it was called Image Village. I saw a movie of it. I saw what our kids actually had a chance to experience. There were cameras. They had access to photography, to creating videos. They actually had access to 21st century technology. They went on field trips. They created films. They created graphics on fabric, okay? They were a part of the choir. They had audio and broadcasting experiences. There were sessions in financial literacy and dancing. They did some gardening. They had arts and crafts, robotics. I was so proud of what our kids were really exposed to. Okay, some were creating rap videos. They were even creating bloopers. Again, pass the information on, okay? You may want to get on an early sign-up list for next year's summer camp. Again, I was just so proud of them. And it was not just people that looked like me. It was really an opportunity. It was a multicultural experience. And not only that, awards were given multiculturally too. But I was just really proud of the experiences that were afforded the kids in our community from Sunnyside. So again, kudos to Sunnyside. Keep up the good work. We have lost some tremendously talented people since I gave my last report. One of the people then that we've lost is Nichelle Nichols. Nichelle Nichols. All right. Now, she is one, and it's appropriate to say, where no woman had gone before. She was one of the cast of Star Trek, and she went on to work with NASA, that is NASA. I won't try and break that down for fear that I may get it incorrectly. But she became one of their recruiters. So she actually broke through the glass ceiling, and that represents limits that are placed on us. Okay, but she was one of the background workers on Star Trek back in the '60s. Okay, she was an actor and a dancer, and she had the opportunity to meet Dr. Martin Luther King, and she mentioned the fact then that she had an opportunity to perform on Broadway, and she was thinking about just stepping aside, just giving up her position on Star Trek. And he cautioned her and told her that her program was one of the few programs that he and his wife, Coretta, would allow their kids to stay up to see. Okay, because that was seeing us, seeing our people in a totally different light. And he urged her to just not do that. And that's something that really stuck with her. Okay, and she continued on with that. She was right at 90 years old. She was born in 1932 and died in 2022. Okay, so right at 90 years old. Okay, Nichelle Nichols. Another great talent that we lost was Bill Russell. Bill Russell then was a legend, okay, from the Boston Celtics. He had more championship rings than he actually had fingers to wear them. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Obama in 2011. Not just for basketball, but because of his activism even off the court, okay? The basketball legend, Bill Russell. Bill Russell. You may want to do some more reading about him, okay? Bill Russell. All right. Bill Russell was 88 years old. Another person, all right? And if you're a child of the 60s, okay, his name was Lamont Dozier. Now, he was one then, at the same time, he was actually singing one of his songs at the time of his death. My world is empty without you. And as I can just recite the name of that title, okay, I can hear the music, okay? He wrote songs for people such as Diana Ross and the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, Florence Ballard, The Temptations, The Four Tops, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. Okay, it just goes on and on. And as I look through here and see some of the songs that he wrote, perhaps you may have heard them. If you were a child of the 60s, you can probably hum a few bars. Okay, such as Baby Love, okay? I'll just tell you the name. Okay, Where Did Our Love Go? Baby, I Need Your Lovin'. You Can't Hurry Love. Reach Out, I'll Be There. Oh, I just can hear the songs. How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You. Stop in the Name of Love. Okay, I can see him singing it. Love is like an inching in my heart. Heat wave. Oh, wow. Nowhere to run. Bernadette, it's the same old song. Okay, but again, he and his team, they wrote any number of hits that were just tremendous back in the 60s, and they've just lasted through time. Again, a tremendous talent that was lost. As I think about that, I'm reminded of one of the situations here at Sunnyside. There was a group of us, and we would do our praise dancing. And our leader, her name is, okay, Charmaine, I'm going to give you a shout out here. But Charmaine would come in and she would just stand in the back door one time. She just stood and just started laughing. And then she kind of caught herself after a while. And she said, I'm sorry, I just had to stop and just get it out. She said, because y'all are so funny. Okay. So after our rehearsal, as we were getting ready to go, she said, ooh, I just heard of this really great new group. And the great new group she had heard of was the Temptations. Oh, we just cracked up, okay, because that was new to her, but it certainly was not new to us. All right, so just be aware. Also passing during this time since my last report was Vin Scully. Vin Scully was the voice of the Dodgers for some 61 years. Okay, but Vin Scully. So much has been in the paper about Vin Scully. In the news still, there's information about the U.S. trying to get, her name is Brittany Griner, okay? She's a WNBA star, okay? And she's still in jail in Russia. And she was arrested for carrying a small amount of drugs that are really legal here in the U.S. But realize, people, whenever you leave the U.S., okay, your rights and privileges end right here as well. Okay, but there really is an effort to get her release. Okay. Again, her name is Brittany Griner. Okay, and her case is still ongoing. But thus far, she has been sentenced to at least 9 years in a Russian jail. But efforts are still being made on her behalf to get her released. Okay. Karen Bass is still running for mayor of Los Angeles. She's received any number of recommendations, okay, of support from people. So just be aware that Karen Bass is still running for mayor, all right? So do your part to vote for who it is you would love to see, okay? But she is one then that has started at the local level, got any number of good programs going. She's gone on to Washington, D.C., and is now thinking in terms of returning back here as mayor. All right, so Karen Bass. And should you make donations, if you are to write a check, there's a form you need to fill out in order for them to actually cash it and count it. So just be aware. I'm going to have to call today to make sure that they've cashed my donation. And as you realize that there are people running for office who have some of the same values that you share, don't hesitate to donate to their campaigns, because in many instances, they are fighting large groups then that are out being against them. Okay? In the news also, there is the term Mar-a-Lago. Okay, check that out. I'm not going to spend a lot of time and energy on that. What is the Espionage Act? Okay, this is one of the few times that I've heard then. The question is, well, why is the FBI and why are police officers being told then that they need to really kind of watch their back? Okay. Surprisingly, this group then tends to think along, they're suggesting now then, just as others, that they need to defund the police. They're saying defund the FBI. Okay, who is this? And why is this? And why are you thinking like this? Okay, so just be aware. My goodness, how times are changing. Okay. As I think in terms too of tragedies that have taken place not far from us, okay? traveling nurse and caregiver Nicole Linton is reported as having taken jobs from the states of North Carolina, Texas, and Georgia, and finally here in California. And but recently, she was hired then by Kaiser Permanente, and she is charged in the Windsor Hills crash on Slauson and La Brea, which killed some 5 people, including a pregnant woman and her baby. Okay, so according to the LA Times, she has been involved in some 13 wrecks before this one. So she suffered a broken foot and a broken wrist. But again, our prayers go out to the number of families then who have been impacted by that. Okay, so this story continues to unfold, but it's tragedies all around. Okay. I recently heard that Serena Williams, is getting ready to retire. She does not want to use the term retire, She is considered a GOAT, greatest of all times, and in the tennis world, But again, kudos to her for her accomplishments, But again, Serena Williams. I'm going to try and close out now, all right? And as I do that, realize then that the fall semester is getting started really today in many instances. This brochure is for LA Southwest College, all right? So check out don't hesitate to check out some of our 2-year institutions, I maintain that it is cheaper here to go to college, to go to one of our local colleges than it is to pay for child care. Okay, closing out for sure. Just do know COVID is real, supposedly herd immunity is here, but again, be sure to do what is in your best interest. And I won't try and tell you much more. Also, look into the whole idea of monkeypox. I understand they're even trying to change that name. But again, be safe. Do what is in your best interest. God bless.